In this lecture, we want to talk about orders, order books, and time of sales. So how are prices created? How are prices generated? We've said that both buyers and sellers decide on prices based on their orders and what they want to do, if they want to buy or sell. So whenever you want to buy something, what do you have to do? You have to send an order, right, to the exchange with what your intentions are, to buy or sell, and the quantity and what it is you want to buy or sell. So this is what we call a order, right? And if you're doing this course, you already know that because we've covered it in the investment cryptocurrency course. So you know how to send an order. But we want to talk a little bit more about this concept, because if you're actively trading, you're going to have to start thinking about the actions of other people. Because what you're going to see here is that it's those actions that are going to affect the future price of a cryptocurrency. So, let me go here. Okay, so when you send an order, first thing you're going to put on this order is the ticker. So in this case, let's say we want to buy Ethereum. We'll put Ethereum on there. Then we want to decide, is it a buy or is it a sell order? So pretty straightforward. Then we're going to say, is it a limit order or a market order? So that's what type of order are we sending? A market order is an order that we send that says just buy this cryptocurrency right away, regardless of the price, but do it now, or sell it, regardless of the price, but do it now. A limit order says buy it at this price or better, or sell it at this price or better. So you know, only if you can get that price. So you have a fixed price, but you don't know if you're going to get it right now or not. Okay. So market order is very time sensitive if you want it right now, but you don't care about the price. Limit is when you care about the price, but you don't care about the time. Quantity. So let's say you want to buy 100. And the last thing, if you've decided that it's a limit order, is the price. So you set the price. So let's say, for example, I want to buy Ethereum. I want 100 Ethereums at $200 each. That's the max I'm willing to pay. So if you can get me a better price, get it to me. But if you can't, that's the max. Well, what happens with my order? I can put this on the exchange. So I can go on Binance and put this order in. Then the order is sent to the exchange, and it's going to be sent through something, through their matching algorithm. Okay, so it's just a computer, it's a server, and they get all these orders. And they have a very strong and quick and fast matching algorithm that's going to match all the orders. And the visual representation of this matching algorithm is the order book, which is a book that has all the orders for all the buyers and all the sellers. Okay. Now, how this works, I'm going to show this here through an Excel sheet. And I'll actually put this Excel sheet in the resources section of this lecture if you want to play around with it. And this is how it works. So let's say you want to buy, let's say you're going to send a limit order. And you want to buy, I don't know, at a price of Ethereum right now is actually, let's check the price of Ethereum right now. If I go here on Binance, okay, which again, if you've done one of my previous courses on cryptocurrency investment, then you know exactly how Binance works. We've done a walkthrough on Binance and a bunch of other exchanges, so there's no problem for that. If you want to buy Ethereum, we put ETH here, Ethereum USD. Okay, so it is actually trading at around $200, so that's great. Okay, so let's say you're a buyer and you want to buy at $200. You're willing to pay $200 for this crypto, and you want to buy 2 Ethereums. Okay, well, this is your order. It's a limit order. What happens is it's taken and it's sent to the exchange, and the exchange posts it on its order book. So it shows up here on the order book. This is going to be all the buyers, and this is going to be all the sellers. Okay, here are going to be buyers, and here are going to be sellers. Now, if you do already know how the order book works, please keep listening to this lecture, because we're going to go more in depth about, you know, the mentality and how you should view the order book and orders and prices and all of that stuff. Now, let's say somebody else wants to buy something. Somebody wants to buy at a price of, I don't know, 198, and he wants to buy 4 of them. Well, that person sends the order. When it goes to the exchange, the exchange is going to order all of these orders in ascending order. Okay, saying order way too many times here. So they're going to put this one below it. Okay, why? Because if somebody wants to buy at 200, he's going to have priority over somebody who wants to buy at 198. Because a seller will prefer to sell to the guy who wants to pay more than to the guy who wants to sell less. So it's going to be ordered in a set, from highest price to lowest price. Okay, and usually you're going to have a total quantity here. Right now I'm looking at Ethereum USDT, so it's like US dollar. So if somebody wants to buy 200, if somebody wants to buy 2 Ethereums for $200 each, that'll cost him a total of 400. So it's just this times this, and it tells you the total. Okay. Now somebody else, let's say, wants to sell, and this person wants to sell at $202, 5 Ethereums. Okay, well, this one is going to go here, and it'll show up on the sell side. Okay, it'll show up on the sell side. So now we have this order book, but there's no transactions that happened yet. Nobody bought or sold. Okay, let's send some more orders. Let's say somebody else wants to sell some at 205 for 2 Ethereums. Now, let's say somebody comes in and wants to sell some at $201, right? What's going to happen? Well, $201 means that these guys, okay, are going to be pushed up because sellers are ordered from highest to lowest. So it's the inverse of buyers. Again, because if somebody wants to buy, he'll prefer buying from somebody who's selling at a low price than somebody who's selling at a high price. So they're ordered from low to high, and here from high to low. Now, if somebody sends an order to sell at 201, he should have priority over the person who wants to sell at 202. So these two people are going to be pushed up. And here, the person who wants to sell at 201 is going to show up here. Let's say he only wants one Ethereum. And he's going to come here, right? So as orders come in, they're going to get in between other orders. Why? Because orders are always going to be ordered by best price and then best time. So example, if somebody else wants to buy, let's say, another Ethereum at 198 and he wants just one, well, that person is going to come here and is going to go behind this person. So it's at the same price, but there's going to be an extra person. So here this is going to turn to 5. So quantities might change. And when you send an order, your orders are always going to be ordered by price priority, then time priority. So two people who have the same price are going to be prioritized by who came first. Okay. And this is going to fill up the order book. Now, no trades happened yet. When is a trade going to happen? Let's say somebody wants to buy one, or somebody wants to sell an Ethereum for, I don't know, 197, and he wants to sell one. Well, this order is a sell order, is going to go to the exchange. Before they place the order on the sell side, they're going to check if they can match it with a buyer. And yes, they can. Why? Because he wants to sell at 197, sorry. Then he can sell to the buyer who wants to buy at 200. The buyer who wants to buy at 200 wanted to buy 2, but he only wants to sell 1. So he is going to sell one of his Ethereums to this guy who wants to buy 2, right? What price are they going to transact at? They're going to transact at 200 because the price of 200 is already available. The buyer who wants to sell at 197 says, I want to buy at 197 or better. And there is a better price, so he is going to get a better price. So this guy is going to get filled for 1 Ethereum. Sorry, he's going to get filled for 1. So there's still going to be 1 left. Okay. This guy is going to be filled. So they transacted together. And their transaction is going to show up here on the time of sales. And here is going to show up 200, 1, and the time. So if it's 12, I don't know, 30, it'll show up here. Okay. Now let's say after this, another buyer wants to buy. And he wants to buy, I don't know, 2 Ethereums at a price of 205. Now, the transaction that happened is gonna pop up on the time of sale. So what's gonna happen is this transaction is gonna go down in the time of sales. So it'll go here. And the initial transaction is gonna be the one that just happened. It was 201 for one coin. And there's gonna be the quantity and the time. So let's say now the time that this happened was 12:35. So you see this changed, the time of sales changed. And you see that the chart that we have here, which is the chart that you look at, updates. Because every time a transaction happens, it updates the chart. Now this guy still wanted another coin, another Ethereum at 205. There's still a seller at 202 that wants to sell 5. And what's gonna happen is he's gonna get one of them. So this one gets, the order gets completely filled. He sells one to him at 202. And again, same thing happened. This goes down in price, 202, there was one sold, and the time of the transaction is gonna be the same. And you see the chart is gonna start updating. As people send orders to buy and sell, and again, some people can send market orders. If somebody sends a market order to sell for 3 coins, and it's a market order, so there's no price, it'll just go and sell. It'll be like, okay, well, I want to sell 3 coins. It'll sell to this buyer that has the price of 200. So this is going to go down, and 200, he wants one. So there's going to be 1 coin, and let's say it's 12.36. And then he still wants 2 left. This one is going to be gone, and he's going to get 2 from him. So this other 2 transactions are going to happen at 198, 2 coins. And this one is going to still want 3 because he only got filled 2. And the order book will look like this after those transactions, after those orders. The time of sales is going to look like this. And the chart is going to look like this. Okay. So whenever you're looking at an exchange like Binance, okay, let me just pull up Binance here. Okay. And you go on their exchange, well, what are you seeing? And all exchanges are going to have this similar layout. You have the order book. Okay, if I'm looking at Ethereum and you see all these people here, they're all buyers. And I can even look deeper in the order book at all the buyers or all the sellers, or I can look at buyers and sellers simultaneously. I have all the prices that they're willing to buy at, all the quantities and the total. And I have the sellers, that the prices that they're willing to sell at, the quantities and the total. And I can see here that some quantities here, somebody at 207, right? And 83 cents, somebody wants 463 Ethereum. So that's a bigger order, and it just moved. And so you can see where there's small orders and big orders, and where there's going to be a lot of support and less support. Probably at 200 here, we're going to have some bigger buy orders at the 200 level, and you can scroll through them here. Let's see, at 201, there's a 294 Ethereums. Let's see, at 200, at 200, look at the price here. At the price of 200, there's 1 million Ethereums. People want to buy about 1 million Ethereums. And that's why at round numbers, you're going to have big supports and resistance levels. Why? Because there's so many orders that are placed at these key levels. Because people think in round numbers, so they send orders in round numbers. Okay? And this is what this course is going to be a lot about, or part of this course is about price action and how orders are affecting the price. Okay, so you have all these orders here by buyers and sellers at different locations, and every time 2 orders match, either limit or because a market order is coming in, the transaction occurs and pops up here on the time of sales, right? And here's where you're sending your orders. You can fill it up from here. You can say market order and you just put the amount, or you can go limit order and put the amount and the price. Okay, and then as soon as a transaction happens, so let's say here, this transaction 208 and 13, it pops up on the chart. See, now it changed, 20809, 20809, 208, okay, it keeps changing, 2807, 2809. So this is going to keep updating as this updates. Okay, so every single time a transaction happens, the chart updates. So whenever you're looking at a chart, okay, keep in mind that what you're actually looking at is a historical graphical representation of prices. You're looking at a graphical representation of historical prices. So whenever you're using this to predict where we're going to go in the future, just understand that this happened because of supply and demand, because of people deciding on it through their orders. Okay? So when you're using this to predict where we're going to go, you can also use this as well to try and gauge demand and supply for the product. Okay? And we're going to talk more in depth about this and how this affects prices in the next lecture. But here you already have an overview right now of how the matching algorithms work, how the order books work, and how they actually generate the prices that we see on charts.